Waiting for any hospital treatment can be a worry. Without insurance, getting private treatment can be a financial worry. Let Spire Leicester Hospital help. With our affordable fixed-price self-pay options, you'll get timely access to your consultant and the aftercare you need. To find out more, search Spire Leicester Self-Pay or call 0116 214 5100 today. Spire, your affordable private healthcare choice.
Welcome along to Farleigh Stadium and then today for this FA Women's Championship match between Leicester City Women and the visitors Crystal Palace Ladies. I'll go through the teams shortly, but I'm joined alongside me by Luke Smith. You were here for the FA Cup game last week. A disappointing defeat for the Foxes?
Yes, it was a disappointing performance. Hoping to see a little bit more fight today. I think this should be a game that Leicester can take. They're obviously a lot higher than Palace in the league points-wise, so this really should be a game that Leicester should be thinking they should win today.
I'll bring you the two-team lineups then, starting with visitors Crystal Palace, who start with Lucy Gillett in goal, Pamela McRoberts, Annika Nuttall, Freya Holdaway, Nikita Winnett, Ashley Hinks, Calvi Balfour, Andrea Georgiou, Hannah McKenzie, Megan McKeague and Gemma Bryan. On the bench for Palace is Lisa Haydock, Kiara Sherwood, Megan Chandler, Rhea Collins, Hope Nash and Chanel Salgado. For the Foxes today, they line up as follows, starting with Demi Lambourne in goal, and then Ella Franklin Fraiture, the captain, Holly Morgan, her birthday today, Charlotte Greengrass, Rosie Axton, Hayley James, Lee Dugmore, Fiona Wirtz, Freya Thomas, Nat Johnson and Libby Smith. On the bench for the Foxes, goalkeeper Serena Clark, and then defenders Sarah Jackson, Rachel Brown, also just recently signed for the first team, having stepped up from the reserves, and then Nicole Nymian, Sophie Domingo, Melissa Johnson and Frida Ayesi. Quite a youthful lineup for the Foxes.
Yeah, I think it's important to be rolling the team up a little bit, keep the whole squad on their toes, all fighting for places, that kind of thing. Yeah, I think it's important, especially after the FA Cup. There seemed like there could have been a slight level of complacency within the side, so it's important to keep the youth players coming through, to keep the more experienced players on their toes.
There we go. It'll be Palace that get this game underway then. Almost ready to go. And there we go, straight away looking for that front ball, but Holly Morgan gets ahead to that one, and the Foxes on this ball already, but that one's out of play, says the assistant referee on this near side. Early throw into Crystal Palace Ladies. Palace have struggled to pick up points, certainly on the road. Their last win, a win against Millwall at home. How do you think they will set up in today's game, looking to take it on the front foot?
Well, I think it's probably the right thing to do. I mean, it's clear that there seems to be a slight problem with Ella Franklin Fraiture down there, just holding her elbow. Seems to be all right. I think it's important that Palace step up on the front foot. Goal scoring hasn't exactly been their forte this season. Defensively, they're not been great, but they've certainly not been terrible either. But it's really just finding the back of the net that seems to be Palace's problem. But I'm almost thinking that it depends what kind of Leicester City team turns up today. Are we going to see the team that could win?
Libby Smith with a great ball forward there. Sorry to interrupt you.
That's
looking
quite
for
right.
Lee Dugmore, but it's out to play for a goal kick.
Are we going to see the Leicester City team that won 2-0 away at Durham? Or are we going to see the Leicester team that really didn't turn up in the FA Cup at all last week? So it'll be interesting to see how Leicester start this game. It's been a positive start though.
Gillette with this goal kick then for Palace. Next to this near side, but that one will bounce straight through for a throw in, which Ella Franklin Fraiture will look to go back down the line. Finds Libby Smith, tries to tee that one up for Fiona Wirtz, but can't keep it under control. Leicester do win it back though, and Libby Smith's ball for Freya Thomas just slightly under hit. Foxes still have the ball. Ella Franklin Fraiture with a lovely ball into Fiona Wirtz. Defender comes across to clear and it's out for a throw in. Thomas again tries to get the return ball to Holly Morgan. Inside now is Fiona Wirtz. Just stands slightly on the ball, finds Rosie Axton. It bounces around and Wirtz keeps hold of it. Nat Johnson looks for the ball back to Holly Morgan, but Crystal Palace pick it up with Gemma Bryan. Now looking for the long ball over the top. Well, that one will roll out of play for a throw into the Foxes down on this near side. There's a travelling section of Crystal Palace ladies supporters on the far side there behind Demi Lambourne's goal. They're certainly going to try and make as much noise as they can, cheer on their team today.
Famous South London massive.
Long ball forward finds Libby Smith, but Palace win that ball back. Lee Dugmore trying to chase that one down, but it's hit long and forward, looking for the run of the Palace winger. Long shot from distance after the referee brought the ball back for a foul into the back of the net. Lambourne with that free kick goes long down the line, finds Hayley James, looks to come infield for Rosie Axton, but the Palace across well to clear that one out of play. Long throw in from Hayley James, finds Dugmore just inside the area, lays that one back off to Wirtz. Ball in towards the box, from Smith looking for Wirtz. Back to Smith. Controls it well, but Palace back across to clear. Dugmore gets stuck in with that challenge. He's Wirtz in the middle of the box, looks for a shot from distance, closed down quickly, and it's just wide of Lucy Gillette's goal.
I'm always so impressed with Lee Dugmore's physicality in the midfield. I think it's so important to have a midfielder who's willing to sort of put the back into the defence, really fight to win the ball back, and if they do lose the ball in the midfield, to just really battle to go and win it back. I think that's really important in this Leicester midfield today.
Just one other game in the Championship to bring you news of today. That's London Bees against Tottenham. In fact, Palace on the way forward there, looking for a front ball. Demi Lambourne's made the save, and Holly Morgan gets back to clear that one just in front of the goal line. Not quite a goal line clearance, but not far from it.
Yeah, it's a
Palace.
Really good stop from Demi Lambourne there. Came out really big, really good stop, and then Holly Morgan there to clean up to make sure that Palace didn't go 1-0 ahead.
Will be a corner kick to Palace on the far side. And it comes looking for the back post, but it's overhit and will roll harmlessly out for a goal kick. Just about to tell you information about the only other Championship game today between Tottenham Hotspur and London Bees. Just about to kick off by the looks of it, still 0-0. Other than that, every other Championship team either still involved in FA Cup action or facing one of their games postponed because of teams still involved in the FA Cup. Goal in the Premier League as well as Tottenham have taken the lead against Leicester City. Sanchez with the goal there at Wembley. In the middle of the park, Bryan picks that one up for Palace as well to get it out from her feet, skips past the challenge of Franklin Frazier and now finds a winger on the near side is Winnett for Palace. Looks for a ball over the top, but Demi Lambourne will come out to clear that one and rolls it quickly for Franklin Facher. The Foxes looking to get forward quickly, finds Libby Smith on this near side. A couple of options and looks to find Wirtz down the line. Palace defender across well to clear that one up. And the defender, I think, is Annika Nuttall, who's come across, wins a goal kick for Crystal Palace.
Yeah, it's been a really high tempo start to today's game. It's really good to see that Palace, a team that are struggling in the league, actually coming out here and really trying to take the game to Leicester. It's a surprise they haven't scored more goals this season. Just by the way that they've started this game, they've been really positive, but then Leicester have dealt with it very, very well in defence.
Definitely, and just again there, Holly Morgan and Ella Franklin Fraser combining well to clear that one out for a throw-in on this near side. Certainly, I think the front three, actually, it's Gemma Bryan and Nikita Winnett. There's certainly two of them, and I think it's Ali on the far side who are sort of, certainly these two on this side, combining, they're swapping over quite well. Bryan's going out wide and Winnett's going down the middle, or vice versa if needed, and that's certainly working well for Palace and, you know, tricky for Leicester to defend against at the minute.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's such a common sight in the game today, the interchangeability of strikers and wingers and that kind of thing. Just trying to offer something different going forwards each time.
Nuttall shifts that one back to the keeper, who goes long and finds Palace winger on this near side. Here's Winnett on the ball, looks to go infield, but the deflection takes that towards Holly Morgan, who clears it downfield. Palace again, though, pick it up, and a free kick there. Not entirely sure, but I think it's Libby Smith who's penalised.
Well, seemed very little contact in that, but yes, anything goes with free kicks.
Offside flag up there against Ali, who goes in for the shot against Lambourne, but the offside flag denies her. I should mention it's Francesca Ali, number 14, who isn't named on the starting lineup, so I don't know if that's a late change for Crystal Palace or not. Certainly not named on the team sheet I was given earlier.
Also not to have been named as a substitute either. So
interesting decision there, but she's on the pitch and she's certainly having a little bit of an influence on this first half. 10 minutes gone. Ball in towards the box, looks for Fiona Wirtz, takes a deflection, and it will be a corner for the Foxes. Hayley James causing trouble on the far side.
Yeah, seem to be getting a lot of joy on that Leicester left-hand side. Need to keep working the ball down there, cutting back onto the right foot, and then it's it was a really good delivery in towards Fiona Wirtz. Seems to be another interesting set piece here from Leicester.
Everyone on the corner of the box. Rosie Axton goes short, finds Smith, looks for a ball in towards the bottom corner, but it's just wide of the left-hand upright as we look at it. Nice to see them trying something different, you know, trying to confuse the defenders, but I mean, you're always guessing, you're always on your toes.
Leicester aren't the most physical team in and around, so yeah, they're going to need to try and find something just a little bit different from set pieces, rather than the bog standard. Everyone takes their positions in the middle and then the corner tries to hit them. It's nice to see something different, a little bit inventive.
There is Axton on the ball, skips past the Palace winger, looks for a ball infield to find Smith. Does well to bring that one under control, lays it back to Axton. Thought about first time shot, goes second time, and it's just wide of Gillette's right hand upright. No way. Goal kick to Crystal Palace. Lovely and warm when the sun shines out here at Farleigh Stadium, but it does occasionally disappear behind a cloud, and it is quite a cold day.
It makes a nice change to those bitter winds.
Holly Morgan just misses out on that one, but Bryan can't bring it under control as she comes across, and then the offside flag is up again against Gemma Bryan.
That is something that Leicester are going to have to be careful of today. They are a very ball-playing side. They like to have a lot of the ball, try and work their own chances. However, they're going to have to be careful to make sure that they don't get caught in defence. It's clear that Gemma Bryan is a very physical forward. So Holly Morgan and Charlotte Greengrass are going to have to be aware back there today.
First time long ball there from Lambourne, looking for the run of Smith. Seemed to catch everyone unaware, but it's rolled through for Gillette to pick up, and then her long ball is headed behind for a corner, I think it is. It's been given for Crystal Palace.
Route 1 at its finest, I think.
If it works, there's certainly nothing wrong with that. Yeah. In swinging corner, looking for the middle. Lambourne comes out to collect and does really well to pluck that one out of the air. Looks for the early ball, but nobody available for Leicester. Rolls it out to Nat Johnson, then goes through the middle. Here's Dugmore. Quick ball for Thomas. Lays that one out to Hayley James, who's getting in an advanced position for the Foxes. Finds Nat Johnson in the middle of the park. Tries to lay that one back to Thomas, but closed down by two Crystal Palace midfielders, and then James looks to win that one back, but penalised just inside the Crystal Palace half.
Yeah, tactical foul there. I think Leicester are going to have to start to be stronger in the midfield, because they're just losing the majority of the battles. And if they're not careful, Leicester can hit. Crystal Palace can hit Leicester on the break.
Well, the Greengrass and Demi Lambourne just about doing enough to keep possession of that one, and then it's rolled out by Lambourne back to Greengrass. Finds James on the touchline, then back to Greengrass. Infield finds Morgan, the captain, celebrating her 26th birthday today. She scored in the reverse fixture on the opening day of the season. Second of 2 goals after Melissa Johnson had already put the Foxes 1-0 up in the first half. Would certainly take a 2-0 win here today, as Morgan has to head that one behind. Just coming up to the 15-minute mark. Who do you think's who do you think's happier with the first 15 minutes?
I don't think either team will be particularly disappointed. I think Leicester have created more chances, and some could say better chances. However, Crystal Palace have started the game very well. They started on the front foot, really taking the game to Leicester, and that's a really important that's a really important way for them to play today. Because there's no point in trying to sit back and soak up pressure. You've got to go out there. You've got to have a good go at it.
Free kick given then to Leicester, rolled back to Demi Lambourne. Now finds Greengrass, deceives the defender, but just slightly overhits it as well to correct that and win it back. But then a ball forward is cut out the back by the Palace captain. The on ball over the top, looking for Bryan, who goes first time but lashes that one just narrowly over the top of the crossbar. But it's a warning sign of what Gemma Bryan can offer for the Palace.
Yeah, she's a very, very dangerous forward, and Leicester are going to have to be more aware in defence. There's a couple of times now where they've been caught out, where either they've let the ball bounce and Gemma Bryan has come in and out-muscled them, or in that situation the defensive line is just all over the place, allowing the forward to get a really good effort away on goal.
Franklin Frazier brings that one down, finds Holly Morgan into Freya Thomas, who looks for the first time flick but wins it back, then loses out of the ball to Mackenzie, who then tries to feed Gemma Bryan and goes through. Lambourne looks like she might have taken a knock there. Free kick's been given Leicester City's way. Lambourne stays down. Looks like she'll be all right to carry on. Certainly haven't called for the physio. free kick then for Leicester. Lambourne back to her feet and ready to take it. Rolls it to Morgan and gets the 1-2. Then finds Greengrass on the far side. Rolls it out and looks for a forward ball. Finds James. Looks to try and turn a winger on the far side. Ali, but out of play for us. Fox is thrown on the halfway line.
I don't know whether this is a tactic that Leicester are trying to employ today, but Holly Morgan seems to be sitting a lot deeper than the rest of the defence. And I don't know whether she's been told to try and play more of a sweeper role, or whether she is generally just dropping off. But it is allowing Gemma Bryant just that little bit more space going forwards, which they really can't afford at the moment.
I think it's a bit of a catch-22 in terms of clearly Palace are looking for that long ball over the top, looking for Gemma Bryant, and if you get that offside call right or wrong, then it's big. As a defender, that's a big call to make, to drop back, to allow her to be onside, knowing that you've got the time to get back, or alternatively, you try and play a high line, and then she beats the offside flag, and Rosie Axman with a lovely ball through, looks for Fiona Wirtz, but the keeper's out to collect it. So, yeah, I think at the minute she's just stepped up, and now it's Charlotte Greengrass who's just dropped back a little bit, and they are certainly sitting off Gemma Bryant for that long ball over the top. So I think it's possibly a little bit of a game plan, certainly for the first half, just to see how Palace set up with Gemma Bryant. Obviously she was at Charlton during that first game, so it didn't feature for Palace. Long ball through for the Foxes is cleared, then lovely little chip over the top looking for Francesca Ali, and it's cleared into the Leicester City dugout for a throw-in to the visitors.
Yeah, I think Crystal Palace have just started to shade the game really here. They've the game was looking for a team to step up a gear, and it really does look like Crystal Palace are the team at the moment who have stepped up. There's not much in it, but Palace are looking the more likely to break the deadlock at the moment.
Certainly in more recent weeks, Leicester manager Jonathan Morgan has put a lot of faith into the youth players, the young players. Libby Smith and Rachel Brown, who have both recently, in the January window anyway, signed for Leicester City. They're both youngsters. Rachel, a Scottish under-19 international. I don't know off the top of my head what the average age of the squad is, but it is a very young squad. Certainly one that's preparing more for the future rather than necessarily this season, but they've certainly adapted to life in the Championship quite well.
Yes, definitely. They're still pushing towards one of those top spaces. It'll be we're going to need to put together a good run to try and pressure Tottenham. They're a little way out in front at the moment, 13 points behind Leicester. But I think it's the right way to approach the squad, going with youthfulness, and hopefully the virtues will pay off in the long run.
Plenty of tough games to come for the Foxes, starting on Wednesday night, as well as Casey Stoney's Manchester United visit Farley Way Stadium for a match rearranged from October. Another one that we'll be bringing you here live on LCWFC TV. Ball out of play. Not sure. I mean, surely if that's already gone out of play, it can't be another Palace throw, but that's what's happened. Dugmore wins that one. It's out of play that time for a Palace throw on the halfway line. Quickly taken, looking for the run of Gemma Bryan, but Holly Morgan and Charlotte Greengrass do well to shepherd that one out of play, and then out of danger, sorry, and then Morgan goes back to Demi Lambourne in the Foxes' goal. Half time at Wembley. It's Tottenham Hotspur 0, Leicester City 1. Sorry, other way around. I wish. No, Tottenham Hotspur 1, Leicester City 0.
Yeah, wishful thinking, I think they're done.
A bit carried away. Ball rolls through for Lucy Gillette in the Palace goal. Franklin Fraser with a bit of a heavy touch, and Palace can bring it away, but then it's cleared, and then Ellie French clipped there as tries to skip away from. I think it's Hannah Mackenzie in the middle of the part for Palace.
I've been really surprised and really impressed with the way that Ella Franklin Frattura has performed in recent weeks. I think she's been a more standout performer. Only recently come into the team, and really making that right back position her own, offering some good forward outlets and defensive solidarity at the same time.
Offside given there against Hayley James on the far side. Tottenham Hotspur have taken the lead as well in their championship game against London Bees from the penalty spot. Rihanna Dean has put the league leaders 1-0 up. Offside call again. There's been quite a lot of offside calls from both sides early in this match here at Farleigh Stadium. 23.5 minutes played.
Considering the depth that Leicester is sitting at, it's quite a surprise that there are so many offside decisions against Gemma Bryan, the Crystal Palace forward. It's she might just have to be slightly more wise to her runs in future.
It also helps for Leicester City when you've got Charlotte Greengrass, who's quite a tall defender at the back there. Although, saying that as an attacker, Gemma Bryan's also quite tall for Crystal Palace. Long ball forward from Nuttall, looking for the run of Francesca Ali. Looks to chip that one inside near post, but it's behind the goal. Now to play for Lambourne to have a goal kick.
Yeah, just another warning sign for Leicester that they do have to watch those runs over the top. It's the ball over the defence every time, and they just need to be aware. Really, they just need to switch onto the ball, and if they can start cutting out that, then Crystal Palace are going to have to find yet another way forwards.
Ball over the top from Leicester, looking for the run of either Wirtz or Rosie Axton, but it's cut out again by Palace, and here's McKeague on this near side. Looks to go down the line for Winnett, but Franklin Frature's really well there to get back and win that one back for Leicester City. Looks for some options going forward, over the top, looking for the run of either Libby Smith or Doug Moore, but the keeper out quickly to collect that one. Again, we talked about the weather. The sun's disappeared again somewhere. It's suddenly quite cold here at Farleigh Stadium. Gillette looks to bring that one forward, but it's out of play for a throw-in on this near side. Foxes just struggling to keep hold of the ball at the minute as Crystal Palace playing it around quite well. Ollie Morgan just gets there first to take that one away from the Palace striker, and then Franklin Frature finds Libby Smith, then finds Freya Thomas, gets the 1-2, and now Libby Smith can bring it forward. A tackle from behind there from McKeague, but it's fair to the referee, and Palace try to win it back. Then Hayley James tries to bring it down on the halfway line, but it's cleared again by Crystal Palace. And then Nat Johnson tidies up and finds Hayley James, who can bring this one across the halfway line. Infield finds Doug Moore, but Hannah Mackenzie's across to clear that one out.
Leicester are still struggling to win those midfield battles. And it was something we saw on Sunday in the FA Cup against London Bees, where they weren't being strong enough in their challenges in the midfield. They weren't getting the ball under control and feeding the forwards, and they're just slipping back into that same rhythm here as well. They do need to show just a little bit more fight in the midfield to stop Crystal Palace progressing forwards.
Johnson looks to try and start another attack forward, but that one will play all the way through for Gillette in the Palace goal, who looks long again for Gemma Bryan. It bounces and Holly Morgan clears, then Greengrass puts her foot through it, finds Fiona Wirtz. Rosie Jackson tries to get back goal side of the defender, but can't win it back. Does though on that near side, far side that time. Dugmore skips in and tries to win that ball back, but then breaks through for Francesca Ali, who then finds McKeague on this near side. Lays that one back to Georgia in the middle. Slightly overhit, and now Leicester can try and capitalise here as Libby Smith picks that ball up. She's got two in the box to aim for. Rosie Axton at the back post, but the defender can clear it for Crystal Palace. Ashley Hinks in the middle heads it back, and Dugmore wins it back. Gets the 1-2 with Rosie Axton. Now finds Thomas. She can lay it off for Libby Smith, who can drill this one across the box. Lays it off instead short for Franklin Frater. It's across goal and nobody there to get a touch on it. Two in the middle. As Fiona Wirtz for near post, and then Rosie Axton at the back. Hayley James, sorry, at the back, and neither of them could get a touch on it.
Yeah, first real chance that Leicester have carved out this afternoon. Again, great movement from Franklin Frater, getting the overlap on Libby Smith, creating some really good space. Great awareness from Libby Smith as well to roll the ball in, and it's a decent ball across goal. And there's just nobody gambling. But Leicester needs to just keep creating, keep moving, and I'm sure they'll find a way through today.
Just over 15 minutes to go until the break. Still 0-0 if you have just joined us. That opportunity there, probably the best opportunity we've seen so far from either team.
I'd say it's probably on level par with the Palace one-on-one, which was saved by Demi Lambourne, but certainly the best opportunity for Leicester. Yeah, really good movement, really impressive football.
Thomas appealing for a free kick in the middle of the park, but nothing given, and Palace can bring it forward. It's McKeague who tries to win it, but he'll be out of play for a throw-in on the halfway line. Crystal Palace captain Freya Holdaway will come and take it. Looks to go long down the touchline. Long ball in towards the box from McKeague, but Lambourne should calmly collect that one, and she does. Greengrass back to Lambourne, back to Charlotte Greengrass. Here's Franklin Frater on this near side, looks for the long ball over the top. Cleared though by Holdaway at the back. Here's Dugmore, again looks to bring it forward, but appeals for the foul and nothing given. Here's Wirtz on the near side, inside finds Smith. Just pulls back a little bit there at Nikita Winnett, and it'll be a free kick to Crystal Palace. There is Greengrass again. Back to Demi Lambourne. Fox is certainly doing their best to play out from the back, looking to try and build that perfect opportunity rather than necessarily just a hit and hope over the box, over the top.
Yeah, it's important to be playing out from the back for Leicester. As we said before, they're not the most physical side, so and they do also like to play a lot of ball-based football. It's very few counter-attacking moves.
Throw in then for Crystal Palace, level with the edge of the 18-yard box. Chance to get a couple of players in and around the edge of the penalty area. There's the ball into the box, but it's Lambourne's to collect, and straight away again looking for the run of Ella Franklin Frater. A lot coming through the full-back at the minute. She's bursting forward across the halfway line, looks the run of Lee Dugmore, but Dugmore had just stopped short of
again, that's the right ball to play moving forwards, but there's just slightly limited movement from Fiona Warts, who appears to be playing through the centre at the moment. She's been interchangeable with Libby Smith, but there's just this, like, whoever is playing centre forward on any given occasion, there's just a limited amount of movement to try and feed the ball from the midfield.
Here is Fiona Wirtz, lays that one back to Nat Johnson, looks for the over the top ball for Hayley James, but it's simple enough for Lucy Gillette to pick up. Second goal there for Tottenham Hotspur against London Bees. Tottenham then extending their lead at the top of the championship table. A free kick given in the centre of the park there for a foul on Ella Franklin-Fraser. It does mean, however, that should Leicester pick up 3 points today, they'll go back above London Bees in the championship table, back up to 5th, and close the gap a little bit on the top 4 ahead of, like I say, the visit of Manchester United on Wednesday night.
Yeah, that home game against Manchester United and then away to Tottenham on the following week are 2 really, really important games for Leicester. They have to turn up, they have to be bold, they have to play quick football, they have to make very few errors, and then they could start to put the pressure on those 2 top teams.
And we talked about wanting to close the gap if they can on those teams above them. There's 4 teams. There's 7 games remaining for Leicester City, and of which I think all bar 1 are against teams that are above them. Keep that infield, and long shot from distance there from McKeague is well over the bar and out of the ground. That will be a goal kick for Demi Lambourne. Here is Lambourne then with the goal kick, finds Greengrass on the edge of the area, looks infield and finds Nat Johnson. Just about gets there ahead of Gemma Bryant, and back to Charlotte Greengrass, who can bring it forward and finds Thomas, lays that one back to Greengrass. And then Greengrass looks for the audacious ball for Ella Franklin-Fraser. I thought for a minute that was going to fall straight into the lap of Nikita Winnett, but just held up well for Franklin-Fraser to collect. Here's Dugmore, gets the ball back to Franklin-Fraser. Lovely little skill to skip past McKeague, then finds, looking for the ball for Smith. Can she keep this one in before the cross? No, not quite, but a lovely little bit of piece of play, a lovely little bit of skill from Ella Franklin-Fraser to skip past McKeague on this near side.
Yeah, excellent beat from Franklin-Fraser, a really good move. Fantastic awareness to know where the space is. Just couldn't quite capitalise with the pass that was required out to Libby Smith. But again, lots of space, lots of opportunities on this Leicester right-hand side. They do need to keep capitalising.
Goal kick then for Crystal Palace. Freya Thomas gets there first. Rosie Axton likes to come across and try and win that one back. Dugmore does win it, and then Holly Morgan claims that one. Comes and finds Freya Thomas in the middle of the park. Looks to set that one back to Greengrass and start another attack for Leicester City. Hayley James as well to bring that one down. Finds Fiona Wirtz. Looks for the shot from distance. It's deflected. The keeper just about claims that one at the second attempt. Leicester City looking to get a little bit more urgency in their play as we tick towards the half-time mark. Just over 6 or 7 minutes left to play, plus whatever the referee decides to add on. Here's Winnett for Palace. Now, Rosie Axton on this near side, if she can work this, a little bit of opportunity. Fiona Wirtz wins it back, and then a little bit of a 1-2. It's juggling around. Wirtz has still got it. It's into the middle of the area and cleared out of play for a Leicester City corner. Just very slow to roll across the...
Yeah, slightly messy forward play from Leicester there. Had a great opportunity, but they're just failing to get the ball under control in the key areas. It's bobbling around. I mean, it's on a 3G pitch. It shouldn't be doing that.
Ball in towards the area. It's flapped up by Lucy Gillette. Cleared eventually by Crystal Palace. Here's Franklin Fraser, who puts it back in towards the box. The run of Dugmore's not been tracked. The keeper will come out to claim it and does get there ahead of Lee Dugmore. Here's Winich. She's got quite a lot of space in the middle of the park there. Eventually, it's Nat Johnson who puts that one, I was going to say into the stands, but it's kept alive by Ashley Hinks in towards the box, looking for Gemma Bryan, and Ella Franklin Fraser does really well to get goal side of that one. And
she's had an outstanding first half. Really good first half from Franklin Fraser. She's shown the virtues of going forward. She's shown how she can create space and beat players, but then she's shown she can do her defensive duties as well. The basic stuff like clearing up and the more specialist brave football, just like that. It's really impressive. Very, very good.
Corner then for Crystal Palace. It'll be another in-swinging ball in towards the 6.
Right back. There are a couple of options, but hopefully a change won't have to be made.
Still ticking towards the half-time whistle as a break here with the injury. As it stands, London B is still trailing by 2-0 against Tottenham Hotspur. Means that the points that Leicester currently have here with this 0-0 draw sees them back into 5th in the league on 21 points ahead of London B's on goal difference. 7 points behind 4th placed Manchester United, but Casey Stoney's side do have 3 games in hand after, in fact one of them is the match against Leicester on Wednesday night as far as United are concerned, but also the abandoned game between United and Charlton Athletic a couple of weeks ago. About ready to get back underway. Here is Lambourne just getting ready to take this free kick, and there we are back underway as the sun comes out here at Farleigh Stadium once again. Interesting piece of skill there from Demi Lambourne ahead of the approaching Gemma Bryan, but does enough to keep hold of the ball.
Getting a little bit of pressure from the travelling Palace fans there, I think.
The wind also picking up. Here's Hayley James as we tick towards stoppage time in the first half. Here's Fiona Wurst. Lovely way to turn back inside and finds James. Looks for the effort from distance, but it will be well held by Lucy Gillett in the Palace goal. Long ball down the line. It will be out of play for a Palace throw-in just inside the Leicester City half. Into time added on. Ball in towards the box. Nat Johnson gets there to clear it out of the box, but Gemma Bryan keeps the ball alive for Crystal Palace as we, on that near side, finds Nikita Winnett, who's come out wide to try and look for a ball in towards the box. It's deflected off of Nat Johnson. In fact, it's not, says the assistant referee on the far side. It will be a goal kick. Welcome back then for the second half. Still 0-0 here at Farleigh Stadium between Leicester City women and Crystal Palace ladies. Underway shortly. Doesn't look like there's any changes from either side.
I think it's important that Leicester come out here today in the second half and really start to try and go at Palace, because they have got frailties in their defence. They've shown that in the first half. Both teams have. So it's important that Leicester can start to take the initiative, step it up a gear, and show why they've picked up more points this season.
I'm not sure whether Crystal Palace were out earlier, whether Leicester City were out late, but Palace were out for quite a while waiting for Leicester City to join them on the pitch. So whether that's one team, I guess, has been a bit of a shouting at. Which team that is, I'm not sure. Thought for a minute the referee had given Palace a free kick, but she's corrected herself, and it's the Leicester free kick for the push in the back of Nat Johnson. A couple of goals in the capital, London, Wembley. Tottenham now 2-1 up against Leicester City. Vardy's pulled one back for Leicester City. Maybe Smith let that one run, looking for the run of Freya Thomas, but it's rolled through for a goal kick. Over in the other championship game between London Bees and Tottenham, it was 2-0 to Tottenham Hotspur the last time we checked in. I'll try and find you an update as much as I can. In fact, it's half time, waiting for the second half to go, and it is 2-0 to Tottenham Hotspur, so they extend their lead at the top of the table, offside there against Lee Dugmore. When the sun's out, it's almost too bright to see, but throw in for Leicester City right in front of the Crystal Palace dugout, of which they're not particularly happy it's been given Leicester City's way. Franklin Fraser takes the throw in, finds plenty of Leicester City players in the Palace area, but it's Palace who win it back. Looking for the through ball for Bryan, cleared though by Greengrass. It'll be on this near side, looking for Palace to get forward. It's McRoberts who picks it up, then finds Fran Ali. Looks a little flick through for Winnett, but cleared again by Leicester City, and here's Axton. Lays that one off to Franklin Fraser. Looks for the long ball for Libby Smith, but it's cleared by Annika Nuttall. Now Nat Johnson again looks for Smith, but Nuttall is there.
Leicester is still lacking the midfield shape that we were talking about in the first half, although they're bringing the ball forward very well here.
Hayley James goes from distance. It takes a deflection. It will fall to Fiona Wirtz. Wirtz's ball in towards the box, and the keeper happy to collect that one. Keeper then goes long down the middle of the park, flicked on in the Palace half. It'll be McRoberts trying to send that one further on, but Hayley James puts it out of play for a throw in on this near side. McRoberts quick to take it, but again has to think about it and go back. And then Mackenzie looks for the run on the far side of McKeague, but Franklin Fraser will get there first and find Rosie Axton. Looks for the return ball back to Franklin Fraser. Some good work there on the far side from the Foxes. Franklin Fraser looking for that run of Fiona Wirtz. The offside flag stays down. Here is Fiona Wirtz. Tries to take the shot, but it's deflected. And will just be
just about deflected, the ball in play down there.
Just kept in play. Greengrass gets goal side. It's pulled back, but nothing given by the referee. Good turn on the ball there from Georgiou. Fiona Wirtz has to.
It's just another example, I think, of how Leicester are gonna be finding the space on the right hand side again in this half. I was saying that Ella Franklin Futura's had a lot of time and space to work some really good passes and some really good forward moves, and she's done the same there. So that could be another really good opportunity for Leicester to try and exploit on the Crystal Palace defence.
Lovely little touch there from
Luke
Naismith to put that one back into the pitch. He couldn't do that again. There is McRoberts on the ball, has to go backwards towards Holdaway. Little miss hit there. Freya Thomas tries to win that one down and then looks to the run of Fiona Wirtz, but just about kept in play on this near side from McRoberts, and then Greengrass comes across and puts it out for a Palace throw-in. Back and away in the other championship match between London Bees and Tottenham. At the break it was Tottenham who lead 2-0. I'll run you through how the table stands as and when I can do, when I get a break in play. Rosie Axton and Holly Morgan on that far side combining. I'll also, if I get a chance, quickly run you through the two lineups. Neither side yet to make a substitution. Here's Dugmore, who does really well to win that ball away from Palace. Brings it forward and finds Wirtz. Lovely little touch inside. Tries to find it back to Dugmore. Here is Dugmore running away from Pamela Roberts and wins a throw-in. Quickly then through the two starting lineups, starting with the hosts Leicester City, who have Demi Lambourne in goal. A back four of Ella Franklin, Fraiture, Holly Morgan, Charlotte Greengrass and Hayley James. And midfield is Lee Dugmore, Freya Thomas and Nat Johnson. And then the front three is Fiona Wirtz, Libby Smith and Rosie Axton. And I'll bring you the visitors team when the ball next goes out of play. Here's Freya Thomas, looks to find that one, and it's taken a deflection, says the referee. It looks like a quick snapshot towards goal, but it's going to be out of play for a corner. A chance for Rosie Axton to deliver this one into box. Quickly then the Crystal Palace lineup is Gillett in goal. A back four is McRoberts, Nuttall, Holdaway, and it's Fran Ali on the far side, I think. Then there's Nikita Winnett, Ashley Hinks and Andrea Georgiou, Hannah McKenzie, Megan McKeag and Gemma Bryan. Axton with this ball in, looking for the front post, but Gillett, the goalkeeper, comes out to collect it. Neither side yet to make a sub. Which side do you think will be the first one to blink and make that change?
Well,
I'll come back to that. Fran Ali does really well. It's pulled back for a throw-in. Fran Ali for a free kick. Sorry, Fran Ali doing really well to get past the City defence.
I think the first change probably has to be made by Leicester. I think Palace will be the happier of the two sides, and it just strikes me that Leicester need just a little bit of stability in their formation. So possibly the introduction of Mel Johnson up front. She obviously bagged the first goal against Palace on the opening day of the season, so she could offer more of an outlet up front, or possibly Sophie Domingo just for a little bit of pace on the wings. But I think the main thing for Leicester is they're just looking for someone to take the lead and just kind of try and take control of the game, grab it by the scruff of the neck, because it's there for the taking. There just needs to be somebody who's going to step up and take it.
Ashley Hicks then with this free kick for Crystal Palace. The Foxes have to stay alert defensively. Lambourne comes out to claim this one, drops it, but then gets there at the second attempt, does she? No, it's cleared though by Leicester City, and Dugmore can bring it forward. And now the Foxes looking to break away quickly. Here's Fiona Wirtz, finds Libby Smith on this near side. She's got four who are getting forward towards the penalty area. Back to Wirtz. First time looks to chip that one in towards the box. McRoberts will try and get the clear away, and just about gets it out for a throw-in rather than a corner kick to the Foxes. Just really quickly, London Bees have conceded another goal. It's Tottenham who lead now by 3-0, so they extend their lead at the top of the championship. They've played 14, 36 points. Charlton in second have played 13, 29 points, so already a 7-point gap for Tottenham at the top then. Durham played 14, also 29 points. Man United played 11, 28 points. And as it stands, Leicester in 5th. The offside flag up there against Libby Smith. As it stands, Leicester in 5th, played 14-21 points. But picking up the extra 2 here from a draw to a win would be massive for Leicester City, given the rest of their season.
Yeah, you have to win games like this. These are vital 3 points that they have to pick up. As we say, they've got great opportunities coming up in the next few weeks to take points off of the teams that are above them in the table. But they're going to be difficult games. They're going to be games where they need to be organised and composed. And they haven't really shown that here today. So perhaps something experimental from the Leicester bench could be on offer, just to try and change the game, do something a little bit different, because it's all just been slightly predictable this afternoon.
Roberts creeping forward with this throw-in. Not quite sure how far she's getting, but the referee happy to let her continue. In it comes, and then flicked on. Winnett gets it away. Here is Hinks, looks for a shot from distance. It's just over the top of the bar. A good opportunity there for Crystal Palace and Ashley Hinks, but now really over the top of Demi Lambourne's goal.
There's a couple of times in this second half that Palace have worked some really good space and sort of cut the Leicester defence in two almost.
Long ball is played all the way through to a goalkeeper to clear it, but Hayley James almost got on the end of it. Now it's Wirtz who wins that one back. It's a bit of a miss hit, and then Charlotte Greengrass just about gets a foot to it. It looks like Leicester City will be the first to make a change as Frida Raisi is preparing to come on. Foul throw given there against Crystal Palace. Hayley James picks that one up and finds Charlotte Greengrass. Johnson back to Greengrass, composed to turn in field. Johnson finds Holly Morgan, over to the far side, finds Franklin Fracher. Now Dugmore likes to flick that one on for the run of Rosie Axton. She's got plenty of options to try and pick out. Looks for the middle of the park, looking for Fiona Wirtz, but it's over the top, and the goalkeeper will come out to collect.
I think Frida Raisi could be a good move to bring into this game. There's just a little lack of
here is
Leicester coming forward.
Axton, sorry to interrupt you giving away, but I'll let you carry on. In fact, it looks like it might be a double substitution with Melissa Johnson also getting ready to come on.
I think that's the right move.
Rolls through, and it's in off the post, and Crystal Palace have the lead. It's Nikita Winnett who rolls it past Demi Lambourne and into the bottom corner, in off the upright. And Leicester will have it all to do as they look to try and get all 3 points from here. Frustrating from Leicester's point of view. They look to just switch off at the back, and the ball over the top, allowed to run through to Nikita Winnett, who under some pressure calmly slipped that one underneath Demi Lambourne, and Crystal Palace lead 1-0.
It's poor defending from Leicester, really. It's poor to allow that much space. It's poor to allow the shot to come in, and this is really now going to be a test of the Leicester mettle, just to see whether they can change something, because something needs to change, or they're going to be taking nothing out of this game. Just an aimless ball forwards there from that Johnson. Really begins to sum up a lacklustre second half for Leicester. Interesting then that we are going to make the substitution eventually. It looks like there's 3 changes actually. All 3 changes at one go, so plenty of work for substitutions to do. It's Frida Raisi, Melissa Johnson and Sophie Domingo to come on, replacing Libby Smith, Freya Thomas and Fiona Wirtz. So I think that's probably the right move to make for Leicester. They're going to need a bit more shape in the midfield, and obviously we know that Sophie Domingo's got pace to burn, really, that she can cause problems for anybody. So it'll be interesting to see whether it's just a change in personnel, or whether it's a bit of a change in shape, change in formation, or even a change in philosophy in the game.
Demi Lambourne then with the ball. Bit of an argument here as well, and Hayley James getting involved there with Fran Ali. Lambourne across, and the referee has plenty to do here to try and sort this one out as everyone is across to sort it out. See what
that's just stuff that Leicester are going to have to deal with. Just getting in front of the ball, stopping the flow of the play. It's what's going to happen, and they're going to need to deal with that more efficiently.
Back underway then with the drop ball. Lambourne with the ball, looking to go long down the middle, looking for Melissa Johnson, but it's found its way to Sophie Domingo on this near side, who will try and work some space to get a ball into the box. Instead wins a corner, a chance for Leicester to launch this one into the box with 3 changes.
Already it's looking just more direct, and a little bit more incentive on looking for that equalising goal, because it was just starting to creep away in that before the 3 changes were made.
Ball in
it's
towards
a lovely delivery from
box,
Rosie Axton.
Everybody appeals for a penalty. It will roll through though for a goal kick.
Well, I think Charlotte Greengrass is mighty close to getting on the end of that corner delivery. It's Leicester just need to keep plugging away. They'll get opportunities, but it's going to come up against a resolute Crystal Palace defence, who don't look like they're content with a 1-0 lead either.
Well, certainly at this point of view, having only won 2 games so far this season, they'll certainly want to keep pushing and try and get a second goal just to cement, I suppose, the 3 points if they are to maintain those 3 points. Here's IEC on the ball, wins a throw in just in front of the clubhouse in the shade. Franklin Fraser will take it down the line looking for Johnson. It's cleared though by Palace. Nat Johnson is keeping an eye on that one and gets the header there. Then Hayley James flicks it on, and it's then flicked out of play from McRoberts at the back. Johnson as well to flick that one on. Finds IEC back to Melissa Johnson. The offside flags up against Melissa Johnson. Frustrating from Leicester City's point of view, but a good bit of work between Johnson and IEC to link up.
Good bit of link-up play. Just needing to try and get a shot away earlier. I think IEC did well to force some space in the Palace defence. Could have just done with trying to get the shot away, because laying it into Mel Johnson did ultimately lead to that offside decision.
Full-time at Wembley, and Tottenham have got a third just before the full-time whistle, so it's 3-1 then to Tottenham, the full-time score. Ollie Morgan forced to go back to Lambourne, then finds Greengrass, takes a heavy touch, and Ashley Hinks has won it back from Greengrass, finds Gemma Bryan in the middle, and Crystal Palace double their lead. Gemma Bryan with the simplest of touches to tap that one home, and Leicester City now trail by 2-0. And again, it's a defensive mistake that's caused the goal for Crystal Palace.
Well, some say mistake, others say calamity. That is absolutely schoolboy from Leicester. Terrible, terrible defending. Demi Lambourne hasn't looked particularly comfortable at all today. She's dropped a couple of misplaced passes, and it's a poor ball out to Charlotte Greengrass. She again should be going safe, tries to take it under control, and it's such a simple finish for Gemma Bryan. It really is. Well, Leicester have unfortunately shot themselves in the foot there with that one. And that's more of a mountain than a hill to climb now.
25 minutes then for Leicester to try and get anything out of this game. Dugmore penalised there for a foul on Nikita Winnett. Might get at least a talking to from the referee, if not a potential card as well, but in fact
appears to have got away with that one.
Not even a talking to. Long ball then down the middle for Palace. Franklin Fraser gets there first. Johnson puts it further clear. Axton trying to close this one down. Here is Ayisi. Looks a little flick forward for Nat Johnson as well to evade one or two challenges. Then finds Dugmore, but it rolls through for Palace to clear, who look long, and Holly Morgan has to try and clear that one. It just about stays in field. Rosie Axton trying to win that one back, but penalised for a foul on that far side.
Well, if it wasn't for her, ability to fashion something out of nothing, I'm not sure whether Rosie Axton would have been part of that 3 changes, because she's unfortunately been anonymous in the midfield today. She needs to work something to try and get Leicester back into this game.
Here is Ayisi as the Foxes look to break quickly. Finds Sophie Domingo in space, but the ball just stands up in Sophie Domingo's feet. The Foxes keep hold of it though with Ayisi, and now finds Melissa Johnson on this near side. Got 3 getting forward in towards the box, cuts back inside, cuts outside, and then Johnson gets there across and wins a corner for the Foxes under some protests from McRoberts, the defender.
So not the first time that's happened then, is it? I think Rosie Axton needs to get another good delivery in here. It was a good corner last time that Charlotte Greengrass very nearly got on the end of, and Leicester really need to start forcing some chances now to find a way back into this game.
Axton, when with this corner, it'll be in swinging, looking towards the back post. Nobody there at the back post. It's going to come out to Ayisi, who just seemed to step away from it, and Gemma Bryan can clear as far, looking for Fran Ali, who's kept it in on that near side. Franklin Fraser there for Company trying to win it back. It's hit long and out of play from Palace. It'll be a throw into the Foxes, I think just inside the Palace half. Franklin Fraser wins that ball back, finds Melissa Johnson, lays it off to Ayisi. The Foxes certainly moving things around a bit quicker now. Here's Hayley James, chance to pull one back for Leicester City, slides it home, and Hayley James pulled one back for Leicester City with a lovely little calm finish from just on the edge of the 6-yard box. Some really quick movement from Leicester City's point of view as they trying to win the ball back there in the 6-yard box, and the referee trying to step in and say it with authority again. It's thrown away by the goalkeeper.
I'm not 100% sure what's happening here.
Well, the Leicester City players obviously went to get the ball to try and get back in the game, and the Palace players diving on the ball to keep hold of it.
So
now
the goal has been given.
The goal's been given, yes, right. And the goalkeeper's thrown the ball away. Just a bit of time wasting from Crystal Palace's point of view.
Sure. Yeah. I'm shocked that Crystal Palace would consider time wasting at 2-1 up. But again, Leicester really do need to capitalise. Lovely bit of football. Frida Ayisi has played an outstanding ball into Hayley James there. A really clever pass. Excellent work. She's been a bit more forceful in the midfield, which is what Leicester needed. And now they really need to step up and come back into this.
I am surprised we didn't see a card or two there, just with the the altercation. I think.
Ooh, I think Lee Dugmore and the keeper both picked up yellow cards. Yeah.
I was looking down at that point then, but the keeper certainly throwing the ball away.
Yeah, and
down to the corner flag, did get a card in the end.
I think Lee Dugmore picked up a card for Leicester as well.
Fair enough. I must have missed that bit. We are back underway then, 20 minutes left to play, just over, and Leicester City have one back, and hopefully a little bit of momentum, looking to try and push forward and get an equaliser at least, and if not, if there's time left, try to still find all 3 points, but certainly the next step looking for the equaliser.
Hayley James has been working a lot of good space on this left-hand side all day, and especially in the first half, she was really creating a good bit of some good space to get the ball into the box, cutting back onto her right foot, and now she's got a goal to reward what I think has been a really impressive performance actually from Hayley James.
Here is Ayesi looking to get forward again. She's got the option of Dugmore, just held up though by the tackle from Georgiou. Axton looks to find Franklin Frazier, but that one will roll through for a throw-in.
Frida Ayesi is exactly what Leicester needed in this game. She's been direct, she's been bullish with her approach, and she's just driving into the Crystal Palace defence, which is something that just was not happening in the first half or before the triple change was made.
Dugmore wins the header from the throw-in, but it's cleared again by Palace. And here is Bryan looking to get forward. She's got Hayley James for company. James trying to shepherd her towards the touchline, does really well. And then Mackenzie goes forward looking for McRoberts, and it's out to play for a goal kick on this near side.
Leicester again playing themselves into trouble at the back, but there's always an opportunity to break, but they just need to make sure that they're not trying to overplay the ball, and they're just being careful and clever with the shape that they are taking in defence, because there seems to be very little communication really between defence and goalkeeper.
Lambourne is on the ball looking for some options, goes long downfield looking for Rosie Axton, headed out of play though by McCaig on that near side, far side, sorry. Here is Greengrass, goes first time looking for Domingo. Space to run into if she can get that ball under possession. Finds Hayley James again, urged to shoot for the crowd, but that one's going wide.
Again, not a bad effort, creating lots of space, good opportunities. And Leicester need to keep plugging away because they are back on top of this game, but it's all about finding the back of the net for that equaliser and possibly trying to even make headway for a third.
18 minutes left to play. Headed out of play. Hey, he's done it again. Fox is trying to win that ball back in and around the edge of the 18-yard box. Can't quite make it work, and Palace can look to bring this one forward. Here's Ali on this near side. Looks for the option, but Domingo does really well to take that back off her, and then looks for the wrong ball forward for Melissa Johnson, but it's offside.
It's a very, very tight call in there. I thought she was just played on by the Palace defence dropping off. But obviously the linesman in a much better position than we are.
The Suns back out here at Farley Way Stadium. Dugmore on the ball. Lays this one off to Hayley James, who's the goal scorer for the Foxes. Domingo does really well to bring that one down and
really good
turn inside. Domingo bursting forward. She's got a couple of options, looks for the run of Melissa Johnson. Holdaway does well to shepherd that one in though. And out for a throw in.
Really well harried from Melissa Johnson there. I think that's what Leicester need to just keep doing. They need to keep pressing, keep forcing Palace into playing the ball into places that they really doesn't want to be. There just seems like there's a little bit more intensity about it.
Back to Holly Morgan, who ships that one back to Lambourne, skips past inside Brian, then finds, or looks to find, James on this near side as well, and Domingo brings it down, and she's got options to try and pick one out. Looks the run of Dugmore is onside. Lee Dugmore fires that one home, and Leicester City are level. Lee Dugmore with a lovely little take on the outside edge of the 6-yard box, and Leicester City from 2-0 down have levelled it up at 2-2. But a lovely little through ball from Sophie Domingo, and Leicester City have scored 2 really good goals.
Oh, what a goal. What a fantastic goal. The ball over from Sophie Domingo, an outstanding touch and turn. Lovely little run, ball into Lee Dugmore. Thought she'd overplayed it slightly, but she knew what she was doing and beats the Crystal Palace keeper at her near post. What a finish, and game on 2-2.
There we go, just inside of 6 minutes, Leicester City have come from 2-0 down to be leading, to drawing 2-2. 2 fantastic goals.
This is now a case where Leicester have to decide whether they think a point is good enough, because they're always going to be in the shape now that they could press for a third. However, it's whether they're willing to risk the point that they've worked so hard to get back to.
Well, I think with the changes that Leicester made sort of 10 minutes before, I say 10 minutes before scoring a goal, but actually they were only 1-0 down when the changes were made. Then conceded a second, but actually the changes have certainly improved Leicester City going forward. They're moving a lot quicker. The ball's being passed around a lot quicker, and we saw that from both goals. Actually, some really free-flowing football from Leicester City's point of view, and 2 fantastic finishes. Yeah,
just more intense, more direct, really simple forward play. It proves that it doesn't need to be particularly fancy. It just needs to be direct, simple and progressive. And that's exactly what the 3 changes have made for Leicester.
There is Johnson, lays it off to Franklin Frater, who looks to go long for Lee Dugmore. It's a bit ambitious, and the keeper will collect that one on the edge of the 18-yard box. Lee Dugmore just needs to be a little bit careful there, going into the back of the defender.
Already on a yellow card. Just needs to use her head a little bit more in situations like that. Lovely touch from Frida Aisi there, and a great turn as well. Just slightly overplaying though, and loses the ball to the Palace midfielders.
Lambourne out to clear it, does well to get there, and Ashley Hinks will try and keep that one in play, and does really well actually to keep it in play ahead of Ella Franklin Frater. Ball in towards the box, and Greengrass gets there first. Lambourne out to collect, and does so, and down she goes. The referee is stopping play briefly.
There's a change for Crystal Palace coming up here. Appears that it's going to be Rhea Collins coming on to replace Pamela McRoberts.
Well, certainly, I think from Palace's point of view, given the change in attack from Leicester City's point of view, they'll want to correct that now, and they'll obviously want to try and get a third goal. They've been in a leading position, and obviously a 2-goal leading position. They'll certainly want to get back in if they can.
Well, I always stand by the fact that I believe a 2-0 lead is even more dangerous than what a 1-0 lead could be, because you just start to ease off, you start to allow things to move, and that's what Palace did. And then all of a sudden, Leicester can get a little bit of momentum. We've got the class and the quality to use that momentum, and now right back in it at 2-2.
Gemma Bryan does well to skip past James, but one back, and now Dugmore on the ball. She's got 3 in front of her, brought down on the centre circle from Ashley Hinks. It will be a free kick to the Foxes.
Yeah, I think Lee Dugmore's tenacity in the midfield has been really important today. She's always chasing, always closing it down, always trying to make something happen, and usually it does happen as well. So I think she's been a really important player today in Leicester's midfield.
Greengrass then, the deepest of the Leicester City players, looks to launch that one in towards the penalty area. It's put into the box by Crystal Palace actually, and Domingo and Rosie Axton look to try and combine, but it's cleared by Palace for a throw in. Hayley James quickly across to take this one, finds Melissa Johnson on the ball now, looking to try and find an opening to get this ball into the box. Johnson's little ball into the box, and the keeper is there to collect that one just in front of Lee Dugmore, who rose well and would have had quite a simple tap in, but keeper out quickly to collect.
Well, it's clear where the shift in momentum has been here. Leicester are well on top of this game. Still got to be careful. Ooh, handball given there against Georgiou. That's just another example of Crystal Palace trying to hold on to the ball after the whistle has been blown. And as a referee, you surely think you should just get in there and stamp it out early on rather than let it progress to what it has.
I think once it's happened once, the referee then should be booking them, saying, you know, I've let you off once, or I've told you off for doing it once. Into the final 10 minutes here then at Farley Way Stadium. Leicester level at 2-2, having been 2 goals down. From that position, a point will certainly be a good result, but also doesn't really help them in the hunt for the top 4 place. Holly Morgan does well to get there, and not quite sure how she's won a free kick, but
well, the Crystal Palace faithful are absolutely incensed about that decision. That is a strange one at best. It is very, very odd.
Well, I was going to say a perfectly good tackle.
Well,
and the referee just makes sure that Demi Lambourne's...
Unless the referee's given it for a dive, in which case she should be booking the forward.
I heard the whistle go, and I was thinking that she was going to give a foul against Holly Morgan, but I didn't think it was. I thought it was a perfectly good tackle from Holly Morgan, but then to give it the other way. And I think the referee just needs to get a little bit of a grip on this game at the minute. The Palace player down with a head injury there is clearly the primary concern, but also just a couple of tackles flying in, and I think the Crystal Palace Ladies fans making their views heard on the far side.
Yes, it's they've been very vocal all afternoon. Actually, I've been impressed with their away following.
A reminder then, whilst the players stopped here, it's Leicester City against Manchester United here at Farley Way Stadium on Wednesday night. There'll be another cracking night of action in the FA Women's Championship. Another vital 3 points on offer for both sides. Tickets available either at lcwfc.com/shop or available on the gate on Wednesday evening, priced at £5 for adults and £2.50 for concessions. We'll also bring you the game here on LCWFC TV. Here is Hayley James trying to bring forward and gets a lovely 1-2 with Lee Dugmore. James in towards the 6-yard box, looks to try and find a low ball across goal, but can't quite. Then Johnson does flick that one into the box. Nat Johnson looking for Rosie Axton, but it's cleared by Palace. Greengrass gets the header there ahead of Gemma Bryan. Holly Morgan does a lovely little chip out wide, looking for the run of Ella Franklin-Frazier, but it's cut out by Palace, and now looking for the ball over the top for the run of Gemma Bryan, and Lambourne's missed it, and Holly Morgan can't get there, and Gemma Bryan puts Palace back in front. Demi Lambourne came out to clear the danger, didn't quite get the contact she wanted, and Crystal Palace lead once more. It's 3-2.
It's not really much you can say about that, unfortunately. It's, Demi Lambourne's clearly come out to try and clear the ball. Had a swing, had a miss, and I'm not sure whether Bryan's had an easier finish this season.
Yeah, about half an hour ago.
Apart from her second goal.
Just over 5 minutes left here then in this championship match. Crystal Palace retaking the lead. And they lead now by 3-2. It'll be a vital 3 points for them to move away from the bottom of the table. Does mean that, as it stands, Leicester will drop back below London Bees, back into 6th where they started the day. Crystal Palace climb above Lewis, although they have played a game more.
Leicester have worked so hard to get back into this game. I mean, Leicester have worked so hard to get back into this game, and it just appears that every Palace goal today has been of their own making, of their own mistake, and now they've got it all to do again just to try and get level.
There's number 6 who's gone off, Freya Holdaway, the captain, I think.
No, she's back in there.
Oh, she come back on, actually. She was going out just to have a word with the manager then. Goal kick then for Palace. Lucy Gillett to bring this one forward. On the halfway line. Crystal Palace fans on that right hand side in full voice. There'll be a throw into Leicester City.
Yes, I mean, the Palace fans have clearly been making their opinions known. It's majority of the time it's all been support, slightly bordering full on towards the officials.
Long throw in down the line. Nat Johnson comes in to collect it out. Aisi looks to get hold of that. Rosie Axton gets her head to it. It's Holdaway who clears it for Palace. And then out of play for a throw in for the Foxes. Level with the edge of the 6-yard box, let's say. Or you just further down in order to go to the 18-yard box. Melissa Johnson gets her head towards it. Here's Domingo back to Franklin Fraser. Her ball in towards the box. It'll be behind, and it's a corner to the Foxes.
Seems that Leicester appear to have lost just all momentum in this game since that third goal. It's not surprising, really. It's got to be deflating. But they've got a corner here. Axton's got to get another good ball in just to try and forge an opportunity. It's every Leicester City player in the Crystal Palace half just trying to get them back on level. Turns
in towards the box. Holly Morgan who gets there, but just about. The keeper comes out to it. Holly Morgan asking the referee a question of a foul, but nothing given from the referee, and the keeper happy to have hold of the ball. I think it's just frustrating. I mean, all three of the goals, really, just how simple they've been in terms of defensively from Leicester City's point of view. Here is Axton, does well to win that one, and then conceded for a foul. I think Axton's in penalised. I'm not entirely sure whether she did anything wrong or not, but
yeah, I think it's just following through on the Crystal Palace player. Yeah, as you were saying about all three of the Palace goals, they have all been avoidable, and I think that's what is most disappointing about the manner of this game. Very, very easily Leicester could be 2-0 up rather than 3-2 down.
Domingo gets that ball down the line, but it's cleared away by Palace. Out to play for a throw-in. Franklin Fraser with the throw-in. Looks down the line. Melissa Johnson flicks that one on. Gets the return ball in towards the box. Finds Hayley James. Can't quite bring it under control, and Palace can bring that one clear. James first in a gut to get forward. It's Fran Ali who's on the ball. Looks to go in towards the box. Greengrass, though, gets ahead to it to clear it away, but Ali will hold this up on this near side. Out of play, and the referee gives the throw in Leicester City's way. Hayley James long down the line, out of play. Not given out of play. Greengrass brings that one down, tries to put a foot through it, but it's just about got there by Ashley Hinks, who looks to go from distance. Ashley Hinks, Demi Lambourne makes a save and just about keeps that one in play for a goal kick. Appeals for a, for the goalkeeper, appeals for a corner, not given by either the players or the fans. Here is Holly Morgan. Free kick for the Foxes on the halfway line.
There's going to be a card here for the Palace player. Yeah, looks like it's going to be Hannah Mackenzie to pick up a booking.
Greengrass then with this free kick launched in towards the back post, and it's looking for Melissa Johnson, but it's cleared by Palace. Down the line, we're looking for the run of anybody in white. Rhea Collins the closest to it, but it's cleared by Charlotte Greengrass. Melissa Johnson trying to get across and close that one down. Ali puts it out of play, kept in play in fact by Collins. Here is Domingo looking to run infield. Looking for a couple of options, finds Axton, laid off to Dugmore. Lovely little touch from Lee Dugmore, still going with the ball, finds Melissa Johnson on this near side. Melissa Johnson looking for find a shot away, but it's cleared for a corner, well defended by Crystal Palace. We're getting towards the now or never chances into already any added time. Here is Ayesi, looks for a shot from distance, fires it across goal, and nobody there to get a touch on it. Goes out for a goal kick, but a lovely opportunity for Leicester City.
Really, really clever set play there. Good effort from Ayesi, but it was always moving away from goal. Just needed somebody at the back post to touch it home, but I think everyone kind of left it thinking it might just sneak in. So Leicester are really running out of time to try and find this equaliser here.
Out of play for a Palace throw-in on the halfway line. Take all the time in the world now with this one. Greengrass puts a foot through it to clear. It's over the top, looking for the run of either Melissa Johnson or Sophie Domingo. Cleared well though by Palace. Dugmore brings it under control. It's broken for Hayley James, who finds Rosie Axton. She's got Ella Franklin-Fraser on the overlap. Ball in towards the box. It's collected by Lucy Gillette, who will go down and waste a little bit further time.
Some good forward play from Leicester. Finding space. It was a poor final delivery from Franklin Fraser, who's not had the same effectiveness as she did in the first half. But Leicester still showing that they can forge opportunities even in these dying moments.
Another free kick then for Leicester on the halfway line. Greengrass stood over it, everybody else in and around the edge of the 18-yard box. It's launched forward by Greengrass. It's cleared though by Crystal Palace, and now Leicester have got to get players back to try and defend this one. Breaking forward, Dugmore does really well though to get ball side of that one. Greengrass then puts a foot through it. It's in the middle of the park. Mackenzie clears it away, and there's the full-time whistle. It's victory for Crystal Palace. Ladies, disappointment from Leicester City's point of view. They'd fought so well back from 2-0 down to draw at 2-2, but then another lapse in concentration defensively right at the end of the game, allowed Gemma Bryan to get in and score her second goal of the day. And it's sealed a 3-2 win for Crystal Palace. Disappointment in the end for Leicester City.
Well, Leicester are walking around looking dejected, and they've only got themselves to blame, unfortunately. Poor defensive display, and they're gonna have to show a lot more against Manchester United if they want to try and get anything out of that game. But there were positives going forwards for Leicester, but ultimately their defensive frailty showed through. 3 really, really poor goals to concede, and very, very disappointing day.
There we go, full time here at Farley Way Stadium. It's finished Leicester City 2, Crystal Palace 3. A reminder that we're back on Wednesday night for the visit of Manchester United women. Casey Stoney's side roll into town on Wednesday night, back here on LCWFC TV.
Waiting for any hospital treatment can be a worry. Without insurance, getting private treatment can be a financial worry. Let Spire Leicester Hospital help. With our affordable fixed price self-pay options, you'll get timely access to your consultant and the aftercare you need. To find out more, search Spire Leicester Self-Pay or call 0116 214 5100 today. Spire, your affordable private healthcare choice.